me? Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'd especially like to thank Senator Nozzolio for being here this morning. I know the senator has some history with propane because I know it was during his first term as our representative. He was out here with his head under the hood of a propane-powered car I had at the time and was looking at propane carburation at that point in time. And he's been a staunch supporter of the propane industry ever since. It's dangerous to start recognizing people because I'm going to leave somebody out that I shouldn't, so I won't. I'm just going to make a couple introductions. Steve Doyle, I know I saw Steve. Okay, Steve. Steve is our partner with Phelps Service Center. We're doing, for Alliance Autogas, we're doing the propane sales, and then Steve is doing the conversion aspect of the business for this part of New York State. I know we have Jeff Hoffman here, who's the National Vice President of American Alternative Fuel. Jeff? Okay. And again, he can talk to you about the hundreds and the thousands of vehicles that are being converted right this minute to propane or autogas on a national basis, international basis. Again, I won't go any further than that with the risk of offending a number of people for those that I leave out, but basically I'll get to why we're here. Propane autogas is easily the most accessible alternative transportation fuel currently available in the marketplace. Worldwide, over 14 million vehicles use autogas, and in the United States, the number is approximately 400,000 vehicles. Is that a correct figure? Okay. I got all these experts here that know more than I do, so I have to be a little careful about what I say, I guess. Autogas produces significantly fewer harmful greenhouse gas emissions than gasoline-powered vehicles, including 20% less carbon monoxide, 40% less nitrogen oxide, and 12% less carbon dioxide. Autogas users save more than $1 per gallon compared to gasoline. Not only do vehicles running on autogas experience lower fuel costs, the upfront cost or expense of implementing autogas fueling infrastructure is significantly lower than for other alternative fuels, making it a much more viable choice for going green while saving some green. Autogas is here and it's now. To borrow from a speech by Joe Thompson, who is president of the Roush Clean Tech, one of Jack Roush's divisions that does clean technology. I followed him around on the speaking circuit. I've done about 25 speeches nationwide for the National Propane Gas Association and run into Joe fairly often this year. But to borrow from one of his sayings, there are thousands of vehicles on compressed natural gas, and I'm not knocking compressed natural gas, trust me. But there are thousands of vehicles running on compressed natural gas right now in this country, and every single one of them is being subsidized. The ratepayers and the federal government is subsidizing natural gas heavily, and I'm not condemning that. On the other hand, there are hundreds of thousands of vehicles running on propane right now, and none of them are subsidized. Propane makes economic sense, to get into some of the scenarios of the business aspect of it, you take the largest fleets in the country that are on propane, they have corporate responsibilities. They have people on Wall Street to answer to, and they have to show a profit. And their decision to go with autogas versus natural gas is that they have a responsibility to their stakeholders, and autogas helps meet that responsibility. Now to borrow from a speech from the talks of Stuart Weedeye, and Stuart Weedeye is the chairman of Autogas for America, and he's also chairman of Alliance Autogas, who we have aligned ourselves with. And again, I misquoted. The first quote was from Stuart Weedeye about the tens of thousands of vehicles on compressed natural gas and the hundreds of thousands on propane or autogas. But Joe Thompson's point is that Roush Clean Tech has tested every alternative clean fueled vehicle out there, and he will go through and he'll start naming them. And I mean, there's hydrogen and names that we recognize, and then there's a bunch of names we don't recognize. And Roush has been paid handsomely to test these vehicles because that's what Roush does. Roush helps them get their EPA certifications and everything else. When it came time for Jack Roush to invest his money in anything, the only thing that Jack Roush will invest in is propane. So I think that's a pretty powerful statement. I'm sorry for mixing up the two gentlemen, and I apologize to them. But the U.S. is at a crossroads. Much of the abundant and affordable energy which has driven our great nation is now imported. We are transferring our national wealth to countries who do not like us. We are restricting the growth of domestic energy. Our nation must have a policy that reduces the flow of our wealth to people who threaten our national security. We can and we will develop new energy technology. In the meantime, we must use what we have. All domestic energy sources must be part of the solution, and propane is part of that solution. We are now an exporter of propane to other parts of the world who covet propane more than we do. That is why I've joined the Alliance Autogas Network and why I have invested in this facility. Our new fueling station in the Phelps, Geneva area is a crucial step towards making American-made autogas more widely available to the public. Propane autogas is here now, and it can save money while protecting the environment and the future of our grandchildren. With that, I'd like to give Senator Nozzolio an opportunity to say